Thank you for joining me on another Novelist Game. My name is Trevon Grant, and this is going to be a book review on Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This book is about our main character, Miriam. Her entire family is poor, though they don't have to be, right? Her dad is actually completely inept at money, and yet they are money lenders. So then, him being a money lender, he's way too kind-hearted, and he struggles with actually going and asking people for the money with interest that they owe him, right? And so as a result, they're poor. There was one point where the Miriam's mother becomes very sick and almost to the point of death, and they could not actually afford soup in order to give the mom because the house was cold. It was, she came down with a chill, and she was literally on to death. And so Miriam is like, look, give me the ledger, let me see what's going on. And she gets the ledger, goes out there and starts like really roughly collecting the money that is owed them. Now it turns out that she's actually really good at money lending, like her grandfather is. And so she takes over the family and starts working. This kind of throws a little bit of shade on the family in the sense of, whoa, your daughter is doing your job, dude, and you're, to the father at least. But anyways, what Miriam does gets them out of the poverty state that they were in. But as a result, her abilities and her smarts and everything gets the attention of this mystical prince called the Stark Lord. And so the Stark Lord now commissions her to turn silver into gold, because she said it one time where she's able to get even just a little bit of silver and able to invest it and turn it into gold. And so now he catches his attention, and he's like, I need you to turn this into gold or else I'm gonna kill you, pretty much. And so that's where the story, and that's kind of the way the story goes, and that's how it starts, right, with Miriam doing all these things. Okay, so one of the things I truly love about this book, again, is I love capable characters, and Miriam was one of those capable characters, especially as a female in a main character role. So many times I guess, don't throw hate speech at me, please. But this is just what I've come across personally, is that especially in mystery books or like non-science fiction books, women are kind of placed, especially when they're main characters, they're often, and though this might be true in real life, they're plagued with a lot of self-doubt. They're plagued with other things that are not very, that's not the story of every woman. And I see so much of it that I get tired of it, and I can't stand it. But anyways, Miriam as a main character is very strong in her will. She's very strong-willed woman, and I like to see that in the main character. Unfortunately, strong-willed women often get a lot of flack, right? And you see that in this story because she's strong-willed, and then there's another woman that's not so strong-willed. She's a bit more flighty, or not flighty, but a bit just not as strong-willed as she is, and she kind of helps that other woman get further up and kind of helps her move forward and so on. So man, I feel like I'm asking for it with that with that comment. Anyways, Naomi Novik does such a great job showing how smart and how cunning our main character Miriam is, and how she's had to be cunning in order to get out of certain situations where she was a weaker person. I love that. That was amazing. Also, another thing I loved about this book, I love the world. I think, again, Naomi Novik does such a great job describing the world and getting you entranced in how everything is. You see what I'm saying? When you come from a lowly village onto like a big city, and the differences between them, and the smell and the sights and the sounds and the music and the dancing and the this and the that. There's a lot of things, especially cultural things, that are that are sort of wrapped up in this book that is really good and really enjoyable to read. So something else I didn't like about this book, again, the sense of danger was certainly there, but the main sense of danger did not actually come from the main villain. The sense of danger came from another party, from the Stark King. Which was very interesting, because there's conflict, but he wasn't a major antagonist throughout, a large part of the story, and so because of that, I'm not gonna spoil it, but because of that, it creates an interesting weave in the way in which the story is told. So the plotting is really good, but the sense of danger that came from the main villain in this story wasn't that much. He didn't seem that strong to me. He didn't seem that dangerous to me. And not because not because Miriam was so capable, because she had a strong will, but she didn't have necessarily the power level to kind of overcome this thing on her own and overcome this enemy on her own. But she had to use her cunning in order to do it. And so, because of the way things played out, the main villain didn't seem that strong. And then there was a time though that he did get really bad, and it created it created a sense of danger. But it came later in the story when it got really, really bad, because before he was kind of weak. He's kind of weak, and then he gained power. And so the thrilling aspect of it didn't last the entire book, or most of the book. It only came around, say, like at Act 3 in the book, when you actually start to feel the actual danger of what was going on. But then the other sense of danger and problems really came from someone else in the first part of the book, which is really cool. And it also, it kind of, it takes away from that thriller aspect of the book and sense of danger. Overall, though, I give this book, and again, guys, realize when I give this book, these books reviews, or give them the final verdict here, it's based on the entertainment level that this book gives, in my reading of it. And this is so subjective. So again, if you read this book, it's definitely a recommendation. I think the culture in it is really cool. The character development is really good. The main character as a person that is likable, though if you meet a strong anyways, the main character as a person is actually really good. And so this book is a huge recommendation to read. I'm gonna give it this is another high rating book for me. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Only 0.5 stars off from being a perfect book. And so definitely it's a huge read. Love it. Go pick it up right away, like yesterday. Naomi Novik is dope. I have her Tamaraire series, which I plan to read at least the first 3 books in the trilogy before going on to some more stuff. All right, so anyways, thanks for joining me on another Novel Escape. Make sure you hit that like if you like this video. If you want to see more of this content, then definitely go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Peace.